Now this is Infinium, one of the very rare freehold cluster house development that is right within walking distance to the Kovan MRT station. There's so many good things that I want to share with you, and I think we're going to have fun today with Propertylimbrothers Landed Home Tour series. So let's go. Now, Infinium is a modernly crafted project that was completed in the year 2018. Now, Kovan is a very special part of District 19. Now, why is that so? Is because if you were to bring out the entire map and locale of where Kovan is situated in, this is primarily in the zone where they are being housed largely by landed properties as well as high-rise condominiums projects. Now, fronting towards the entire MRT station, these are developments that has been done over the years, like Kovan Melody, followed by Kovan Residences, and then you have Kovan Regency, which are having some strata houses within the project itself, together with the latest project that was being completed, and that is Stars of Kovan. In terms of its strata per square foot, the properties right there are going at about 1,500 plus all the way to about 1,700 plus per square foot based on some transactions that are being done in 2021, and that has set a new benchmark for the entire Kovan area. All four high-rise condominium projects, these are all 99 years in nature, and in terms of benchmark PSF, 1,006 to 1,007 is where we are at right now for the newer projects like Stars of Kovan. Now, if we move inward within the Kovan enclave, these are all largely populated by freehold landed properties, as well as some boutique private apartment projects which are largely freehold in nature. You also have a couple of choices in terms of cluster houses right within this enclave. Now, right across the Kovan MRT enclave, that is where Surin Avenue is being located, as well as Aruzu Avenue, and you have Charlton as well. Now, this entire enclave is also done largely by landed properties. There are also a couple of choices. It's now cluster housing right there. So out of the 14 different stratas here, the two on the left hand side, these are the 5,100 plus square feet corner terraces. On the right hand side, those are the 5,700 plus square feet type. Now, the key difference between these three types are basically the patio space located right outside the house itself. So on the left hand side, you have a slightly longer patio space. Right hand side types, which are the largest version nearest to the entrance, those strata corner terraces, you have an extremely huge patio space. So it all depends on your own preference. Now, the ones in the middle, which is the one that we're standing right now, which is 4,962 square feet, all 10 houses, they get this very nice, beautiful private pool located right in front of your dining deck, and you also have this openable push-out door that allows you to dip into your private pool. Pool is 1 meters deep, private pool is 0.5 meters deep. In terms of facade, windows are also tinted, so you can't really see into each other. You also have a nice gym located at the top right corner towards the entrance zoning. Now, if you are staying in the Infinium, what you need to do is you just take a couple of minutes walk, and you can either walk down towards the Kovan MRT station through Flower Road, or you can head downwards towards Lowland Road. Both directions will take you approximately close to about 5 to 8 minutes walk to hit the underground pass. You can go straight towards Kovan MRT, which is the northeast line, and that will also bring you opposite towards the Kovan City, and that is where Heartland Mall is being located. So if you want to enter into the Kovan Landed Enclave, there are various entry points. You can either come from the main Upper Serangoon Road, and that's where Kovan MRT is located. You can also come from the left hand side, and that's where Highland Road is. The top portion where Serangoon Garden is located, that'll be from Yio Chu Kang Road, and from the right hand side, that'll be from Hougang Avenue 2. We think that in order to get a freehold cluster development that is within the D19 Kovan enclave, and yet within the 5 years old mark, I think the Infinium is definitely one of the key rare choices that you have. So why don't we start from the basement level, and we'll show you a little bit of the house first. Let's go. So the very first thing when you look for a cluster strata landed project, especially if you want to go for a boutique kind of status like this one in Infinium, you want to look at how the car park is being designed, because you want a brightly lit car park, very well ventilated with different access points from here. So on my left hand side, that is the walkway to the side gate as well as to the gym. On the right hand side, that is another staircase for you to walk up to the pool deck. At the back, you can also head back towards the pool deck as well. So as you head in, this project gives you 2 private parking lots right in front of your unit, and as mentioned, there's not even lighting points needed because there are different air well that's coming out from the top, and these are all very beautifully done by the developer. So this is the place, and we're gonna head in. Alright, so we need to start from the basement because buying a strata house, the basement is extremely important. Now, why do people love strata housing is because you technically get 5 different levels. So right here you have your basement level, followed by level 1, 2 and 3, and then you also have a roof terrace deck as well, bringing you 5 different zoning. Nowadays, in order to buy a strata cluster house, the very first thing that you need to check off the checkbox is that whether is there a lift or not. So the lift is the first thing that is very important right here in this day and age because you can future-proof your home. And that means that it doesn't matter if you have elderly parents that's living together with you and you don't want to shortchange yourself just to live on level 1 or maybe the basement level. Lift is fantastic. Now, something about the lift is that this is a cone lift. Now, cone dates back all the way to the early 1900s. This brand is being used by a lot of huge shopping malls and offices. Now, just in the basement level itself, I see a lot of good things. Now, the very first thing is that the home shelter is right tucked at this corner and is hidden nicely beside the stairwell entrance. And that is very important because when you open the door, it's actually right behind the door. So that shows you how much space that it saves by designing it to be at this corner. So of course, this portion here, this was done up by our owners. This is a shoe cabinetry system. So these are all top and bottom areas. And I think having like open shelf system is very important so that you can keep some of your keys and all that kind of stuff here. So now the moment you come here, this open area is called the games room or the family area zoning. This is a nice area for your family to come down here and chill out. The ACs are done. All levels are also being done with the Haiku fan in the ceiling portion. So Haiku fan, of course, is one of the very top-notch brands when it comes to ceiling fan because the DC motor has produced like such little sound right here, so you don't really hear anything, alright? So boutique projects, sometimes families that are buying cluster homes, they'll be a little bit worried about what is the monthly maintenance fee that you need to pump in. For Infinium, for this house right here, the maintenance fee plus sinking fund is at $515 per month, which is very decent and reasonable for a 14-unit project. Now, seldom do we see 2 bedrooms within the basement level. So here you have bedroom number 1 out of the 5 bedrooms within the whole project. You have a side walkway into the laundry zoning, which is also an air well that pumps ventilation from the pool deck also. So you have a own little ensuite right here. This can be a guest bedroom for you. If you have guests coming in, you have friends that are staying over. On top of that, over here, this is your study room. Based on the original floor plan, is by default a study room with its own ensuite as well. As we head upstairs, so this is the 3rd bathroom. Even if your friends or maybe your relatives come visit you and they want to swim, they can wash up after swimming. Bifoldable doors are being done, and these are all very thoughtful design. So on top of that, the 4th thing that we've noticed is having an enclosed kitchen because some cluster projects, they are starting to have that kind of open kitchen kind of concept. So to have an enclosed kitchen is beautifully done, and you also have this option of closing your bifoldable glass panel. So if you want to leave it open like right now, then that gives you like an open kind of kitchen concept with a center console that acts as a mini bar table. Bosch oven right towards here. More of like a U-shaped version of a kitchen tabletop. So open flame cooker hob plus a Bosch hood as well. And sink is pretty deep. So right here, these are all very nicely maintained over the years. Roco brand, as well as a nice fridge space right tucked towards this corner. So take note, it's very important to have ventilation window right towards the back. Apart from your front patio, you also have very nice size back laundry area. So this is very important space because you want to be able to hang your clothes right here. You want to do some natural clothes drying, even though you can pump in the dryer. This is the potential space for you to put in a washer cum dryer right at the top. This is your air well that looks downwards towards your own basement. So in terms of privacy segregation, it's also nicely done. Your neighbors won't be able to look in from your left and right. Something to note at the back is that even the landscaping right along the perimeter of the project is done nicely with natural canopy right here. Sometimes in terms of layout comparisons, you do get to see some homes that have the very straight cut kind of rectangular layout whereby the kitchen, dining and living is all in one longish fashion. For Infinium, you have this very nice segregation that allows you to have a very decent dining space. Now in terms of the furniture choices that are being used in this property here, our owners have spent time to find very specific pieces from ethnic craft. That's a rebrand from Soul and Tables. Soul and Tables is a very interesting brand because the receipts are transferable. That means in the event, if after you come and view this place, if you're interested in some of the furniture pieces here, our owners are very keen to discuss to leave some of the pieces here for you. Now the key reason why the receipts are transferable is because Ethnic Craft, they provide varnishing services for owners lifetime. So if you want to do varnishing over the years, that can be done. So something very interesting is coming up in Kovan recently. HDB has just recently announced that the plot right beside Heartland Mall is going to be designated as a BTO launch. So very likely there's going to be 4-room and 5-room HDB model apartments that's going to sprout out right beside the Kovan MRT station at Heartland Mall. And we think that that's a very interesting development because not only does it complement the entire landed and private zoning, there's going to be a new batch, of course, for HDB upgraders to move up to the landed properties in future. So what's going to happen is that the moment, every time new projects come up, demographic changes. So in future, what's likely going to happen is that once these HDB BTOs are being completed, and then the residents there, first-hand owners, they have lived for 5 years and fulfilling the 5 years MOP status. Now this HDB apartments, the moment it hits its 5 years MOP, I think very likely in terms of its future resale value, the 4-room flats will likely hit close to perhaps $700,000 to $800,000 in the next 5 to 8 years once they have hit its MOP status. So there's going to be a new demographics of residents that perhaps has seen a gain in future, and they might want to upgrade to some of the private apartments or even landed properties around the Kovan enclave, which is good news, of course, for complementing the current zoning in this area. So let's head up. So why do families buy cluster home? Now, the main primary reason is split into two portions. The first one being maintenance, second one being having that level of common facilities that you can still enjoy some condo facilities while living in a strata landed kind of status. So let's talk about the first point first. First point being maintenance is that when you buy a strata cluster home, you only take care of the interior space because you're buying the strata space, which is a 4,962 square feet. And in terms of anything that's exterior, that's being taken care of by the MCST, and that is a key reason why you pay the maintenance fee of $515 per month. Now, when you compare cluster homes among cluster projects as well, the very key thing is, of course, to take note of its maintenance fee, because that maintenance fee has to be something that you must be very comfortable to pay every month. And now $515 in comparison in today's context is at a very reasonable zone because it's not easy to find projects that has monthly maintenance below the $600 mark. At the same time, it also gives you the luxury to park 2 cars and you don't have to take care of any exterior kind of maintenance. So of course, when you buy a pure landed, you're buying the land and you're buying the structure as well. And that means you have to take care of the maintenance that happens to your land as well as the exterior and interior structure of your entire landed property. So that is a key difference when we talk about point 1 of maintenance. Now point 2, when it comes to facilities, this will be very beneficial if you have young kids at home and you want to allow your kids to have that pool that they can enjoy every weekend. You also want to have a gym space that you can work out while you're working from home or during weekends as well. So, and in order to have facilities, families that prefer facilities for their children and themselves, they usually typically go for cluster strata properties. So this is the first common room that we're standing in, and the very interesting point is that this room is being done with a sliding panel door, so it does not eat up a lot of space. So even the flooring itself, just check out this parquet flooring right here. Owners just spent a good amount to re-varnish them late last year. So during the end of 2020, they've just re-varnished the floors on level 2 and 3. So you're getting newly varnished parquet flooring within the bedroom zoning levels. This room can put in a queen bed right here. Right now is a children's bed. Now the wardrobes are also nicely done. These are being done with nicely black tinted glass, and you have soft closure. For this common room on level 2, you have your own ensuite with its bath and very nice condition. You don't have to do a single thing. Now, there are 2 bedrooms on level 2, 2 bedrooms on level 3, and later as we head towards level 4, there's your roof deck. There are also cable points in all the bedrooms, so you don't have to worry about connectivity. Interesting thing, as mentioned at the start of this video, is that the lift brings you up to the roof terrace deck. Now, we have also done a comparison with 9 different strata properties that are located within the entire D19 Kovan enclave. Out of the 9 projects, we have noticed that only 3 of the developments has a lift attached within every strata unit. And not only does Infinium has a lift, it's also one of the rare ones out of the 3 that has a lift that brings you up to the roof terrace. So we think that the developer and architect has really put in a lot of thought in terms of the usability of the layout right here. So this is the master room. So in terms of direction wise, this is towards the northwest direction. North on my right, west on my left hand side. West side, you don't have to be concerned because on the left hand side, there are some projects that will technically shed off the afternoon sun. So it's on a tilt angle direction, just like where we are right now. So most importantly is that you don't want to have the direct west right in front of you. So these are all angular positions, which is nicely crafted. Room size for the master, fantastic. Check this out, this is a king bed with 2 side tables. You also have a 3-panel black tinted glass wardrobe system, and these are all nicely done. Again, you have that pull-out drawers right here. Now I'm gonna check out the ensuite because the ensuite is pretty interesting. You have a his and her. You have a nice standing shower right here. It's a very quality finishing in terms of its wall tiles. A little bit more rugged, classic black tiles right on the flooring. These are marble-like tiles right at the wall. You also have sufficient space here. So a lot of different space for you to utilize, as well as a small little dressing table zoning right here that has 2 pull-outs. So very thoughtful design that's being done. So we're going to head up to level 3 and notice that there are sufficient ventilation windows, and not just are these ventilation windows, this brings in natural brightness towards your stairwell because you don't want a dark staircase. Entire home, they've done it up with CCTVs because they have young kids at home. All the CCTVs are going to be left behind for you. You can also take over the CCTV monitoring system. So similarly, when you come to level 3, you hear a little bit more echo because that's going up to the attic level, and also because currently the junior master is being used as a study room. So this is now a room with only 2 tables right at the corner, so you can imagine how big it is. It's exactly the same size as the main master room on level 2. Notice that there are also ground plugs like this. So this is done with a data lamp point, TV point, and 2 3-pin plugs. This is a place for you to put up your TV console. This is, of course, a very interesting ensuite that I want to show you because you have a sunken bath with a jacuzzi being done. This opens up all the way to the roof, and this brings in the extra skylight right from the top towards this bathroom. So it's a little bit like a very nice jacuzzi zoning that you can have. And I'm gonna jump right on top. Of course, you can sit here and enjoy the skylight. Very beautifully done. I think your kids are going to love it here because you can just pour out the water, let them play, and they're going to enjoy the time right here. Alternatively, you can also use this as your master room. It doesn't matter because you have lift, so you can decide whether you want level 2 or level 3. And this room right here on level 3 is currently used as a kids' playroom. Let's check out the amount of toys that is being done here with all these nice racks with a lot of pull-out drawers for toys. Okay, so these are definitely not going to be left behind. The kids are going to bring it to their new home. So all the rooms are being done with the nice wardrobe that you see previously, and of course this bathroom is pretty similar to the one on level 2. Alright, so next up we're going to definitely try the lift, and then we head up to the roof deck. We'll chat more right there. Okay, so what can you do with a roof terrace? Definitely, the first thing you can do is to arm the entire flooring with artificial turf if you love to have that grassy kind of feel. You can also do an outdoor sitting area like this one, and you can do up grilling right here in the evenings. There is an awning that's already being done. You can come up here, have a breath of fresh air, do some exercises right here. You have like a kids play area right at the back. So in recent years, we have discovered that the trend for cluster housing right now is shifting towards the 99 years cluster landed type of properties. If you have looked at what has sprouted out in terms of some of the mega projects like Affinity, which is located at Serangoon North, you also have Riverfront Residences that's located in Hougang, both of which we have done in-depth analysis on some of the very nicely done cluster houses right there. You also have Parkwood Collection, which is located at the Hougang Enclave, and that is being primed closer to the $4 million mark for some of the semi-D cluster houses at about 4,000 plus square feet build up. Now for Affinity and Riverfront Residences, the cluster houses there are all ranging in the range of about 2,000 plus to 3,000 odd in terms of the built-in area. So we think that right now, based on the trend that's happening, it seems like most of the cluster houses are already being primed into some of the mega projects. If not in terms of singular projects like Parkwood Residence, they are also being done with the 99 years land plot. Perhaps it could be because in terms of government land sales, even for landed strata kind of status developments, government are also dishing out lands which are 99 years in nature, which is very similar to the government land sales for condo launches as well. So we think that in order to get a freehold cluster landed project, it's going to be extremely rare. And in fact, if you want to get something that is within the 5 years old kind of mark, Infinium is definitely one of the key choices for you within the Kovan D19 area. Now the next thing to compare, of course, is whether do you need this lift or not. So if you need a lift, you want to future-proof the home, Infinium definitely is one of the very key choice for you. Asking price at $3.7 million, negotiable. Per square foot in terms of strata build space at $745 per square foot for freehold strata cluster landed. Now give our listing specialist and listing manager a call at the numbers right down below, and as always, all the information that you need is at the landing page right below at Propertylimbrothers.com. If you want to have a look at more videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel, click on the notification bell. And my name is Melvin Lim. As always, happy to show the place. Take care. The fourth thing that we've noticed is an enclosed kitchen with Josephine here.
Where are you going to?
Okay, a strata area that you own, and